the thing is, we live in a country where, it's freedom of choice, and people make those decisions and make whatever choice they want. I mean, it's not up to me. I personally decide to eat meat.
What's up, everybody? My name is Natalie, and I'm here with Mace, and today we're going to be doing a bit of street epistemology. So this is inspired by Humane Hancock. Go ahead, check out his channel if you haven't. So you're going to choose a statement from this envelope and read it out loud and tell me how you feel about it.
Killing animals for food, if you don't need to, is morally wrong?
Do you agree or disagree on a 1 to 10 scale?
Do I agree or disagree? Is it morally wrong? I would say no. I'd say on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being morally wrong or not morally wrong to 10 being morally wrong, I'd probably give it like a 4 nowadays. Because now there's so much other food that we can eat and sustain ourselves with and everything that, it's not necessarily a need to eat meat, to eat animal. It's now more of a choice than it is a requirement. So I guess when you really think about it, it could be very morally wrong.
So you're at a 4 right now. Would you go higher?
Definitely go up to probably like a 6 or a 7. Yeah. I guess. I just, it's definitely something to think about and something to look at differently, and, yeah.
Well, what are the reasons that it would not be morally wrong?
I would say if you're in a situation like, in a third world country where you're not able to get the nutrients, the proper nutrients the right way through other forms and methods, then yeah, them eating meat would be a requirement.
Yeah, so I guess would you agree that if it's a necessity, not morally wrong, but if it's not a necessity, maybe so?
It could be morally wrong, yes.
Okay. Is it something you've ever thought about, or?
I've actually been vegetarian before,
Okay.
but I definitely enjoy meat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's definitely something for me to think about now moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed meat as well, for sure. Like, I don't think anyone would stop eating it for lack of enjoyment, right? So I'm curious, do you think like the taste is a sense, right? Do you think like the sensory pleasure you get from eating meat, does that justify, putting animals through suffering?
So I guess the question would be whether or not, if the animal is being killed to suffer, are they suffering, or is it instantaneously? I think there's a lot of factors and a lot of questions that go into it to make that decision. It's not something that I've really delved into myself. So.
Sure. Yeah. So let's kind of maybe go like, what do you think about factory farming?
Never really gotten into it. It's not something I've really educated myself in. I do understand what you're trying to say though, with the mass like farming and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you call factory farming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just like to, because like most people say that factory farming's morally wrong, right? The thing that I think a lot of people don't know, that I certainly didn't know, is that 99% of animal products in the U.S. come from factory farms. So if you're against, factory farming or cruel treatment of animals, then when you're buying these products, like, you're essentially subjecting them to cruel treatment.
I think the matter of the cruel treatment was also a basis of opinion.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think that some people, it could be cruelty to animals, and other people can be like, it's the food chain. So
yeah. So how about I tell you a couple standard practice things, and you tell me if you would consider them cruelty. So pigs, regardless of what farm they're on, they're going to have their tails cut off and their teeth cut out, and they'll be castrated without anesthetic. Would you say that that's cruel?
It's definitely cruel.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're also going to be, kept in cages pretty much their whole life. And
I don't eat pork, so that's,
perfect. And I like to tell people they're killed in gas chambers as well.
Yeah, I've actually heard, and I've watched videos. That's one thing that I've seen a couple of videos of.
Yeah.
I don't eat pork.
Cool.
I do eat beef. I don't eat it that often. But yeah, I do understand the factory farming and everything, because as somebody who works in the restaurant industry and who has dealt with supply chain issues and the things that you hear and all that. So yes, I understand the whole factory farming, and it kind of sucks, and it's definitely eye-opening, but it's, once again, it's a matter of a person's choice to eat meat or not eat meat, and it's every person's journey is going to be different.
Do you think it is a personal choice?
absolutely, it's personal choice whether or not you eat meat or not.
Yeah, so I'm curious how far personal choice extends. Like, you see that guy there? What if I went and like slapped him in the face and he was like, "What the hell?" and I said it was my personal choice? Would that be my personal choice?
I mean, it is your personal choice to go hit somebody. Now, it's their personal choice on how they react, but you're comparing humans to animals.
Sure. Well, I was just kind of trying to define where personal choice ends and begins.
Right, but you're still there is a difference between humans and animals.
Let's say there was a dog walking and I started beating the dog. Would that be my personal choice?
Yeah, when that dog bites you, that's that dog's personal choice as well.
Sure. I guess what I'm trying to get at is I think that it's certainly a choice, but to me, personal choice means it only affects you. Would you agree with that or no?
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not.
Do you think the animals should have any choice?
I think they're animals. Their intelligence isn't on our level.
No.
I have animals. We have animals, but I mean, I'm not gonna go and eat my animals. But there's a difference between a pet and an animal, and that's just my opinion.
Okay. What is the difference? I'm curious.
Something you keep domesticated in a house rather than, something you raise to eat. I mean, that's the difference.
Okay. So if I raise dogs to eat, that would be okay?
Yeah, it's your personal choice.
Okay. I'm trying to just figure out where you stand on these things.
The thing is, we live in a country where, it's freedom of choice, and people make those decisions and make whatever choice they want. I mean, it's not up to me. I personally decide to eat meat, not as often as I used to. Definitely working in a restaurant that is, very vegetarian and vegan friendly, I have learned to eat other things other than meat and supply my body with nutrients that I can get from other ways. But I make that personal choice to eat meat every once in a while, for sure.
Okay. Would you ever consider changing that choice, or?
For sure.
For sure?
Yeah.
What would make you change, or what would stop you from changing?
Just myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what can change my opinion.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of friends I do have a lot of friends and coworkers and that are vegetarian and vegan, and and I respect their choice, and I don't hate on anybody and anybody's decision, and I just, that's their personal choice.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, in all of this, I'm kind of just trying to get people to think about the animals more. I do kind of want to touch on some of the other issues surrounding animal agriculture, because that's what made me make the switch. It wasn't really animal rights as much as public health. So have you heard about the connection between animal farming and pandemics?
I have seen it on the news, for sure. I mean, they say that, I don't know how much is true, though, that COVID was originated at a animal factory in China, so.
Yeah, and we're not really sure about COVID, but when you look at new diseases, 75% of them jump from animals to humans. And, the World Health Organization has said that by keeping these animals in factory farms, we're exponentially increasing the odds of pandemics. So to me, it's
did not know that.
Yeah,
but
neither did I, and that's kind of what made me look into it more. Is that compelling to you at all, the public health angle?
Definitely something I definitely am going to look into, for sure.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing, do you believe in climate change?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Did you know that animal agriculture is really bad?
Yeah, and it definitely affects the ozone layer and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ozone layer, mass species extinction, deforestation, it's all kind of related.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
It's okay, thank you. It's all kind of related. So, yeah, to me, it seems like a small choice when you're just deciding, the vegan burger versus the meat burger.
For sure.
But by buying the meat burger, you're saying, it's fine for an animal to be exploited for me. Also, I'm willing to increase the risk of pandemics and harm the climate. Have you ever thought about it from that angle?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and say I have. I have not.
Yeah. And that's why I talk to people about this. I'm sorry I put you on the spot.
You definitely put me on the spot.
I know.
You definitely put me on the spot. But
I'm sorry.
Thank you, because you have educated me and opened up my eyes. So it's definitely something that I will look into, and I will go home and I will watch those Netflix documentaries that she tries to get me to look into. So I will definitely get on top of that for sure.
All right, awesome. Totally appreciate it. Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mace. It's been
Absolutely.
a pleasure, and yeah, I'll give you some more information.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and become a patron today. If you missed yesterday's video, click to the left.